Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
If you're a fan of comic books and comic book conventions, Daytona Beach Comic Con needs to be on your list of must-attend events. It's a show that actually focuses on comic books. Imagine that! This year's event is happening on Saturday, September the 6th, and Sunday, September the 7th. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. There's a new convention in town, and it's sure to be mega fun without the mega expense. Comics, toys, collectibles, pop culture. ShadowCon, Saturday, February 1st, 2025 in Orlando, Florida. Silverline creators will be there, so we'll see you at the show. If you find yourself in the Orlando area, and let's be honest, doesn't everyone come to Orlando for the House of Mouse? Head over to Coliseum of Comics to get your comic book fix. Be sure to check out their location on East Colonial Drive, where they carry a wide selection of independent comics, including Silverline books. Stop by and don't forget to tell them Silverline sent you. Hey, if you're an independent comic creator looking to get your comic printed, look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our comics and do a fantastic job. They can even print special edition covers. When you reach out to them, be sure to tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Yes, we know it says Tuesday on the... We haven't gotten that glitch fixed yet, folks.
Yeah,
welcome
when
to...
You push the Wednesday button, Tuesday comes up. So.
Yes, it's actually when you actually push the start the intro, and it flips over to Tuesday, even though I started with Wednesday. So, yes, the conspiracy continues. Welcome to Wednesday Wham, everybody. It's the Silverline Wednesday Wham.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah. So. Oh, you know what? We have our wonderful line. Make mine Silverline. I was thinking that we could also add shine Silverline, but you know.
You know who came up with Make Mine Silverline?
Yeah. Oh, you did. Oh, wonderful. Okay, awesome. Well, everybody, welcome to Wednesday Wham. We are doing the comics rigmarole today. We are just going to kind of wing it. And if you have joined us in the chat, if you have any topics you would like to discuss, we are all ears this week. So you can just kind of toss your 2 cents in and say, hey, we want to touch on this. If we know anything about it, we'll try and talk about it. If we know nothing about it, we'll just say,
we'll wing it.
Well, we ain't got nothing, so we will try to talk about that kind of stuff. But we have some interesting stuff going on in the Silverline world. There's lots of fascinating stuff, and Silverline is scrapping its way up to the top. We're going to be number one day, I think. We're doing a good job of putting out books. So let's do our introductions, and then we'll talk about what's going on in our world of Silverline, and maybe we'll touch on some comic book news that's going on, and maybe come up with some other topics as well in the world of pop culture. All right, let's see. Ladies first. Okay. Introduce yourself, Barb.
Barb Kelberg, a longtime inker in the industry for 35 years, worked for everybody. Been coloring for the last 6 years. So I'm an inker and a colorist and a writer. I write Divinity. I'm the creator of Divinity. And I'm also the CFO of Silverline. So I pinch the pennies. I count the beans. So I've been doing that a lot of last couple of
Gets
days.
her abacus out and counts the beans. Yep.
Spreadsheets. I am the queen of spreadsheets.
I swear by spreadsheets myself. I love them.
I keep spreadsheets on everything, on every Kickstarter, on every crowdfunder that we do. I have a Kickstarter or a spreadsheet for each crowdfunder. I have spreadsheets for diamond sales. I have spreadsheets for the checking. I have spreadsheets tracking all kinds of different things that you probably wouldn't even think of. I have spreadsheets for them.
Wonderful. All right. And down below us, down here somewhere, we have the venerable Rob Davis. Tell us about yourself quickly there, Rob.
Well, I've been in the industry right around the same number of years Barb has. I have drawn everything from the ancient world of Merlin all the way up into the future world of Star Trek and Captain Kirk. And it penciled, started out as a letterer, then became an inker, then a penciler. And I've written a few stories along the way too, but I am I'm nowhere near as experienced in that department as even Barb is, who's a newbie at this. And I've done a little coloring work as well. I am for Silverline. I'm the artist on the book Twilight Grim, which just finished up last month, running through previews and should be coming into comic shops now. So go check your comic shop for them. Speaking of that, also Divinity, Barb's book is in previews this month. So go to your comic shop and pre-order that, and it'll be in a few months. Issue 1 is in previews, so go for that. Right.
And it has a Jeff Johnson cover. Jeff was my penciler back in the day on Solitaire for Malibu, and we did every issue of Solitaire together. And when I jump started Divinity, I asked him if he would be willing to
contribute a cover.
Contribute a cover, and he was more than happy to. And it turned out to be my favorite cover of everybody. Everybody, when they buy the book, that's their favorite cover. So
yeah, it's a nice one. It is nice. So anyway, yep.
Oh, alrighty.
And before the show is out, I want to mention one other GoFundMe, but maybe I'll just mention it now. I don't know if you know any of you youngsters know who Mike Barr is. He wrote
the Crow.
Batman no, that's a different bar. That's a different bar.
That's Chief Bar.
Yeah, this is Mike Barr.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Who wrote Batman and the Outsiders, Maze Agency, Camelot. Was it 3000?
Mm-hmm.
And
Camelot 3000.
he has a GoFundMe on right now because he's having health issues. So if you were a fan of his work and want to help him out, go over to GoFundMe, search for Mike Barr and see if you can help him out a little bit. I haven't sent money to him yet, but it's in my plans to do in the next day or so to help him out. So hop on over there. Now that's the bad news. Let's get that Mike's having troubles, but we'll get that out of the way and we'll help him get out of his situation. So on with the show.
Yeah. All right, and I'm Martin Bertonen. I'm the colorist on Wolf Hunters 1 and 2 for Silverline. I saw the letters on issue number 2, and it looks fantastic. It's really, really good. And
he's a Canadian, and we all get along.
And the writing on that book just ended up.
He still likes us.
Oh yeah,
he puts up. Well, I've got Canadian ancestry, so
yeah. It's silliness. The political silliness is silliness. It's just pure nonsense. So, anyways, yeah. So 2 is coming, or it has. I'm not sure when it's going to be available, but it's coming soon. And keep your eyes for that. It looks great, in my humble opinion. But yeah. Now, speaking of some interesting stuff that Silverline is doing and speak covers and those kinds of things. Right now, we are in the middle of March Madness. March Madness covers at Silverline. If you go to the Facebook, you go to Facebook and you look up Silverline Comics Group or Silverline Comics, you can go and vote on the covers because we're doing
March Madness
covers versus each other.
Yeah, March Madness
and so
covers.
you can vote on your favorite covers, and we're going to come down to the final two. We started with 64 covers that Silverline has produced, and we are going to let down to the final two over the course of the month. And I think that goes into April. So yeah,
Yes.
so if you're a fan of
Basketball
Silverline or
March
not,
Madness
you
goes
just
right
go.
into April.
Is it terrible to vote for myself?
Yep. So
No, no.
I voted for. I
for me.
voted my. Come on, I voted for Wolf Hunter covers. They still lost, but still.
No, I mean, don't political candidates vote for
that's
themselves?
one thing that Silverline is. Yeah.
I'm also
So yeah, and then. Oh, go ahead, Bert.
I'm pasting the link for the crowdfunder.
Ah, very good, very good.
There we go.
Okay.
Pull onto my screen
There it
here.
is.
So let me see if I can find my right browser.
Oh, there you go.
Where are we here?
Cat and Mouse
it'd be
Vipers
this one.
#1. And I think I saw 3 different covers, and I'm going to have a tough time choosing.
I've already ordered. If you guys want to know what it's about, Cat and Mouse find themselves fighting giant child snatching vipers. That sounds good, doesn't it? Crime, action, drama with a smattering of superheroes. Yeah, lots of big fangs. Yep, child snatching giant. This is I came up with this. Giant child snatching vipers are terrorizing New Orleans.
Nolans. Yep.
Nolans. Yeah, we get in trouble for doing it because we're not native.
Yeah,
we can't. There it is. Oh, it's gone.
All right,
so
I'm not sure.
Yeah, wonderful. 55% already. That's cool.
Oh, we've gone up to 55%.
Yes.
All right. So now I'm not sure if there's supposed to be an image here or not. Let me hit reload one more time just to make sure.
Yeah, I think that's just an empty spot.
So, all right. So yeah. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Cat and Mouse Vipers. I'm not sure why it's. Yeah, it seems to be that the.
Probably bandwidth. You probably have a bandwidth problem.
I don't know. There's something going
on. You're missing the giant viper fangs on. That's which one you're missing.
Okay, hang on. Let me just see if I can. Maybe if I turn off a browser window here.
Yeah. Refresh the window.
Let's see if that'll help. Yeah. Hang on. Why won't you turn off? Go. Yeah, my computer seems to be fighting with itself. I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's see if that helped. All right, let's try this again. There we go. There we go. Yay. There's some giant fangs there. All right, so here we go. So, giant child snatching vipers are terrorizing New Orleans, pulling children from their homes in the middle of the night. In their eagerness to take on human trafficking in the city, Cat and Mouse find themselves in the thick of it. Crime, action, drama, with a smattering of superheroics.
Dun, dun,
so,
dun.
Yeah. All right. So
I've already ordered my copy.
Yeah.
I ordered mine too. I think I did it earlier today.
The artist is fantastic, and there's some
original art
rewards
there.
You guys can grab.
Covers.
This is one of the that looks like the pencils.
Yeah.
Who's the penciler now? Again?
That's Jose Fuentes, but I believe yes.
That's Jose. Oh, those are sweet.
Did he pencil that or ink it?
Yep. And then an inked version by Tommy Florimonte.
Oh, cool.
So there's his inks.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
just
some
going
good
to
looking
see.
stuff there.
Did he actually follow the instructions in the pencils? Yes, he did. All right, there we go. All right, and then there's another cover inked by
Yeah, I
Tommy
like that one.
Florimonti,
Nice.
and then
Is that
there's
Is that Clinton's cover there? I think.
that might be Clinton's cover, yeah, but
Yeah,
it's inked by Tommy. And
yeah,
then
nice.
let's see, is there anything else down here? There should be probably a whole bunch of stuff, and it's probably
Yeah.
not coming in.
Yeah, you
That's
just
right.
got anybody at your house watching movies while you're doing this?
Oh yeah. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh well, maybe my wife is looking at her phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do apologize for that, but yeah. So go check that out, folks. There's going to be a whole bunch of rewards and options available, and you can get your cat and mouse fix from Silverline. Oh, they already sold out of this one, which was what? What was that? Oh, the original art cover B pencils by Jose. Oh, so that's gone, folks. This sold out already. Wow.
I'm
All
not
right.
surprised.
And
Right.
then,
Yeah. Nice.
well, but you can still get the inks. You can still get the inks of that cover. And then
hop over there now.
Yep.
Or-
So yeah.
Yeah. Open up
All
a
right.
window in your browser. Yep.
And as with all of our crowdfunders, you can get any back issues of any of our books during a crowdfunder. So say you want, issue number 1 of this one, but you're also missing some Twilight Grimm or some Divinity or some of the other books, obsoletes, and Wolf Hunter. You can order any of our back issues during the crowdfunder.
Right.
And you can also order for only $1. You can order our poster.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
So that's a steal. That's
Yeah, it
a
is.
gorgeous poster.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Right. And so now some of the books that you can order, if you're a little unsure and you want to test the waters first, we have decided on globalcomics.com to offer a couple of books for free. If you want to go check them out, you can go check out
Digitally?
Trumps.
Digitally,
Yes,
yeah.
digitally. Trumps is available for free. Great read. Has nothing to do with your current president. It has everything to do with the card game called Trumps, and is a wonderful story of intrigue and
one of my favorite books.
it's a great book, wonderful book, excellent art, awesome story, and it's based on the card game Trumps. And it,
I love the little blurb there. It's time to
shuffle the deck. Yes, that's a great line. That's an awesome line. So yeah, so ladies and gents, I mean, free comics. I mean, like, it's free. Come on. So just jump on over there, and you guys can take a look at this wonderful sci-fi epic. And it's available. Like, take a look at that. Like, that's just so cool. And yeah, and I believe, is Twilight Grimm also available for free there, Rob?
No one's told me.
No one's told you.
Possibly.
Okay.
That's okay with
okay
with me if it is. I think that's a great idea.
One
Yeah.
anyway. Yes.
Like
So
it
from the
is.
looks of it,
That was page 1. Yep. For issue 1.
yeah.
Yep.
So, like, take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
2, 3.
This
that's
is your
2-page spread. Yeah.
artist, Rob Davis, is right here, and it's a spectacular work. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so if you're into vampire hunters and some intrigue in the world with the city
more
there, where there's a
fangs
good
than we
side
can
and a bad
handle
side,
tonight.
and yeah, will this girl escape? What will happen? Oh no! So I'm gonna leave it there. You guys go check it out if you haven't seen it. So go, or should I switch to the next page? Just
Nope.
I'll switch to the
too
next
late.
page.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's their hero. He has shown up. All right. So, but you gotta see if he actually makes it through the book, and does he get bit or not? So yeah. So yeah, go check out our books for free at Comixology, right? Comixology.com. No, Global Comics. Globalcomics.com. Globalcomics.com. So let's we'll copy those links over here and throw those into the chat. So you guys can go find those if you want. And is there any other interesting news happening in the world of Silverline?
Comic book line?
Silverline?
Comic book world.
In Silverline, yes.
I finished inking the super secret project.
You
got all the pages done?
Yeah.
You got the last bit? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
have
Rob,
you uploaded them yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to take a peek.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I just need we need to get the script number 2 out there now, so I can start working on that.
And how many issues is that secret project supposed to be?
No idea.
4.
No idea.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
4 or 6 probably.
And have we been given the okay to talk about that yet, or no, or is it still?
I have no idea.
The latest newsletter.
I'm just the inker. I just sling some ink and turn them in.
The latest newsletter, Roland hints at it again, but does not say what it is. So I don't think we're allowed to talk about it yet.
Okay.
Maybe when we get a little further along, maybe some of the pages are lettered and got some color on them, and we can throw those out there. We haven't done a cover for the first issue yet either, although I've got an idea for it somewhere here. Yeah.
All right. In other comic book news, I see that they Marvel released the Avengers Doomsday cast. I mean, why not just call it a family reunion and call it good? Because they threw in everybody. I mean, it's going to be so crowded. How are you going to even handle that? You know who they have? You want to hear it?
Go for it.
Thor, Sue Storm, Sam Wilson, Bucky Barnes, Scott Lang, Shuri, John Walker, Namor, Ben Grimm, Shang-Chi, Yelena Belova, Hank McCoy, Sentry, Falcon, Johnny Storm, Red Guardian, M'Baku, Ghost, Loki, Professor X, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Mystique, Cyclops, Gambit, Mr. Fantastic, and Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Oh wait, this is the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Avengers Doomsday. They are all in it. I mean, what they're going to get? What 30 seconds a piece or something like that?
Probably half of them will be just like fly by night, like just run past them as you're going. So it's probably going to focus on. It's probably going to focus on the Fantastic Four and Doom, right?
Probably because my guess is they are going to bring
because
Fantastic Four into the Marvel universe. Because if you've seen the trailer for the first, what is the name of the Fantastic Four movie? First something, Family or something like that. But anyway, it's an alternate universe. If you look at it, it's an alternate universe, and so you go, okay, so they're going to try and bring him into the Marvel Comics universe, MCU, the main universe. So they're going to have to do that. So that's probably what the Doomsday thing is a follow-up to. This is after they come to this universe.
All of the original actors who've portrayed all these are going to portray them again, except for obviously Robert Downey Jr. He's playing Dr. Doom instead of Tony Stark. But Paul Rudd, Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, Chris Hemsworth, they're all reprising their roles. Even Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
It's just, I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
Jam-packed. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a long movie.
Well,
one of those 3-hour ones where you need a potty break.
Yeah. I had to run in the middle of the last Avengers movie. I had to run to the bathroom and came back. So yeah, and it's hard to pick a point in the movie to do it because it's so action packed. So yeah. Anyway. I'm,
Not that I'm
I'm
pushing Marvel
actually,
folks or anything. I just
was-
found it
But
really
like
overwhelming.
Lord of the
Well,
Rings, you could run to the bathroom break and come back, and you still haven't gone anywhere. But
that doesn't happen.
now,
Yeah,
speaking
but
of alternate universes, this kind of takes us into a topic that I touched on before we were in the green room, so to speak. And DC has launched the Absolute Universe. I don't know if you guys have seen anything about this or not. But this
I
is
have no comment because I have not seen any of it except the ads and previews.
He's been
Right.
spending a lot of time on leg day.
Oh yes, lots of time on leg day. So Absolute
Good
Batman.
God,
So
how
this
does
is
he move
apparently.
those- How does he move those stumps?
Yeah, I know. So,
Yeah.
but
Think of the chafing. Oh my God.
so now
The
I
thigh
happen
chafing.
to I happen to go and view this book on somewhere, and took a look at it, and the art is actually really quite good. It's really interesting, and they've made Batman a beast. He is huge. He is like massive. And they've kind of done a really interesting tweak on the character. And
Well,
I don't know, but it's taken the comic world by storm, and everyone kind of likes it.
response
I
to
think.
that is always when they do that, why not just create a new character?
True. But
Why
no,
not? Why not go ahead and create a new character rather
Yeah.
than mess with Batman
'Cause
so bad?
Everybody
So-
wants a crack at Batman. That's why.
Yeah,
Well, then
but-
keep the regular Batman book going, and then create.
So
If you
yeah.
want to do this with the
Yeah.
character, do
So
this
actually, we can
with a
actually
different
touch on this
character.
too.
But that's
So-
okay. I
Yeah.
have
So
no desire to buy it myself. So.
now, are you guys aware that So are you aware that
Uh-oh,
they
did
are
we
going
lose you?
to reboot? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're.
Am I still
you're
here?
glitching.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
here.
you're
Yo,
here. You're here. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're glitching a little.
Okay. So,
At least here.
apologies. But have you guys seen that they're going to reboot Batman?
Oh my God! Again? No, I didn't hear that.
but okay. So they're going to reboot Batman, but this is really interesting because they're going back to the blue cape and lightening him up a little
So-
bit, which is
So
kind
the
of
one
interesting.
the one on the right side of the screen is what they're going to. That's the look they're going
Well,
to, right?
no.
Oh,
The
yeah,
one,
they're
the
making-
one on the
they're
left.
making
If
the
you look,
bat
he
on
has
just
blue.
blue. That's interesting.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but the left side, he's blue too. But they're going back to the gray and blue suit. And if you actually look at the
Oh,
art
I
for
see.
this, it looks really kind of interesting. It's
The art is very
It-
good. I'm just
it-
why are
Yeah.
Yeah.
rebooting again?
So it's looking like a really interesting take, and I think they're going to make
gonna
him
go
a little
through-
more lighthearted, a little less.
Are
Well,
they going
that
to go
would be
through a
less
full
grim and
origin
gritty.
story again and everything?
looks like
I
it.
don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So this is interesting. This gives me kind of like,
Okay.
this interests me
cool.
actually, like, because this is like, oh, okay, like, will they make him a little bit more
Classic.
lighthearted? Will they start gearing him back towards kids a little bit, like not like totally like childlike, but maybe to a younger audience that can grab onto him and I don't
Well,
know. This is
instead of
kind
going for old
interesting.
geezers like me, they go for
Yeah.
people in their teens and early tweens
Yeah.
or late tweens and teens
I
and
like the look.
college age. That would it's a great
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
So more modern look, definitely. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. It's a really interesting look. I really like this
Yeah, the one on the right I really
blue
like.
cape with the
Yeah.
jagged,
Very
yeah,
stylized.
that's a really
I
cool-
I like that a lot.
very poppy. Yeah, very
Yep.
pop.
My
So-
my only complaint is it's like reboot number 548. It's
Yes,
Well,
but
but I like the look. I do like the look.
Yep.
yeah. So I would argue that and okay, we have to be kind of charitable because it's the comic industry and there are competitors and we don't want to be bad mouthing and stuff like that. So I'll try to be charitable here. I think DC kind of lost its way a little bit after the what was it called, the New 52, and
New
so
52,
I think
yeah,
this
really kind of.
I think that to me this feels like they've regrounded the character. Like, just looking at this, like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is Batman, right? I recognize Batman. I know what this is, right? So yeah, so this could be really interesting. So yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
Even got the
that
bat
was
symbol
something.
there.
I hope
Yeah.
it gets lots of people reading comics. That
Yeah. So let's see here. So there's the absolute Batman. So
Yeah.
we touched on that. He's kind of become this giant behemoth. Let's see if you guys can
Okay,
kind of
that's
get an
kinda
idea.
It's
Can
kind
we
of
say
like Marvel
steroids?
when they went with the Ultimates. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then he has like this weird like bat axe thing going on. it's he's, so
Okay.
so he's this young guy. He's younger. He's maybe like in his early 20s, maybe, and he's just buff as all get out. He's just huge, and he's also super vicious. So this would be definitely for an older audience. And apparently his cape
Okay.
has this ability, and
So apparently this Batman doesn't have a problem with killing.
no, I don't think so.
Or at least wounding people pretty badly.
No. He this guy in the first book, he like takes out like 50 criminals all at once, and they're all laying splatted out on the pavement. So
Okay.
yeah, he's a little bit more brutal.
Strangely
Um,
enough, I'd be more interested in the other Batman than this one. The old
Yes, I
geezer
think
me.
I think
I would
yeah,
actually be. Yeah,
I think
that's much
yeah,
more interesting to me than the other one is.
yeah.
I mean,
So
I get
this
who that's I know I get who that's for.
yeah,
They're going for a certain audience,
yeah.
and
So I think
that'll appeal to them.
yeah, so I think that's exactly what's going on here. I think they're going to do
Mhm.
Absolute Batman. So if you want the older stories, go to Absolute Batman, and if you want the more younger, more normal Batman stories, we will go back to this. So I think that's
I
I
mean,
think that's
hopefully
where they're
that
going.
Batman is more of a detective
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and a
that's
little.
exactly what they said. That's exactly what they said. He'll be doing more
Yeah.
detective work and all that kind of stuff.
I'd
So
be much more interested in reading that book than I would
yeah, yeah.
the other thing.
So then they also did a Absolute Wonder Woman, and this is what she looks like. So I'm not sure what to make of this. It's a very kind of intriguing and different. She has this big giant sword, and she has her lasso.
Oh,
But
she's got a manga sword.
yes, and she's got like this
Is that what
giant
that
tattoo
is?
on her arm.
Yeah, let me
Like,
see.
yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
characters
one of those.
a lot of characters in manga have these massive
Yeah,
oversized swords.
she's got a
Okay.
big manga sword. Yes, and then she rides like this crazy horse that's you can see the insides of.
It's the
So
invisible horse.
yeah. Oh, that maybe that's what it is. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. That's her horse.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's a skeletal horse.
yeah. So that's kind of crazy.
Zombie
I don't know.
horse.
That
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
a bad guy riding that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's no.
So
It
this
looks
is
like
kind of
Wonder. No, it looks like she's got armor on. Okay,
yeah,
yeah, that's Wonder Woman. Okay,
yeah,
with wings, a skeletal horse with wings. Okay,
A dead
yeah,
Pegasus.
yeah. So this is kind of yeah.
yeah. Okay,
So this is
With that-
Zombie
that-
peg.
Zombie pig. And then they also did Absolute Superman as well, and that kind of looks like this. And so this is what that looks like. So they made him a younger
yeah,
guy,
looks younger there. Yeah,
and
costume's a little different. No cape. Looks like.
so yeah, so interesting. So yeah, I'm just bringing this up because we're talking about alternate universes, and this is happening in the comic industry right now. So, what are your thoughts on doing alternate universes? What would happen if Silverline decided to do an alternate universe of Cat and Mouse, or could we do alternate universes?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
Yeah.
I could. I think, yeah.
should we?
Well,
Well, that's kind of up to Roland.
but I mean,
I mean,
anything could
Oh,
be
and
spun off into an AU.
Jose just said that they have absolute flash out as of last week, I believe.
Okay.
I saw they have absolute Martian Manhunter. So, like, are they
Yeah.
going to do an
Yeah,
entire
so I
DC
answered that.
universe as an absolute universe? Like,
yes.
I mean, I guess.
When I saw it in previews, they had just about every book had an absolute version.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay, so
all the
it's
major,
kind of like,
all the major characters at least.
but Martian
And-
Manhunter?
Yeah, he's a Justice League member.
Right,
I think
but
that's
giving
what
him-
everybody who's in the Justice
But
League.
giving him a complete independent book is like, can he drive a book by himself?
Well, maybe absolute Martian Manhunter can, because
So this is-
he looked pretty different.
So this is very
maybe.
intriguing. Like, okay, so like,
Mhm.
okay, now, do these become ongoing books forever in perpetuity, or is this intended to be a limited series?
And it always gets back to, for me, are they telling a good story?
Hmm,
If they're doing that, it'll do okay. If they're just throwing stuff against the wall to see if it'll stick, I don't know.
mhm,
If they don't have,
universes.
mhm.
yeah. And
All right, so-
it's an interesting concept. We'll see how it
So
goes.
absolutely, Silverline could do that. Say Cat and Mouse got caught up in some weird voodoo and ended up in Twilight Grimworld. They got a lot of voodoo going on in
I can do that.
Right.
Cat and Mouse.
So I have propositioned. I don't know if I sent it to Roland or not, but I have propositioned the idea of how that whole scenario could work with the Silverline universe, and it all revolves around the demon character. So I think I have a logistical way of making that happen, and I mean, but I can't let the cat. Can I? I mean, it's a pipe dream.
Can't let the
so
cat hula out of the dream.
Can I let the cat out of the bag, or yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, yeah, it. Yeah, I think it definitely can be done in the
Sure.
Silverline universe completely
and-
easily,
and
and it would
again,
also
As long as you
in
tell a good story.
yeah. In the the other thing is, like, so our books, I like do our, well, I guess Trump's is its own universe, Beyond the Stars is its own universe, but like, how many of the books are kind of like in the same universe?
Well,
Same
Twilight
universe?
Grim is. Twilight Grim could be in.
Cat and
in the
Mouse,
same
and
universe.
Divinity, and Champion and Ms. Fury are definitely in the same universe. I'm sure
Right.
there's more, but I'm blanking.
Right. But so we could technically connect those, all the worlds through my proposed idea, and then not only that, we could also create alternate universes for the actual characters that we already have. So you could have like Cat and Mouse in space, Cat and Mouse in, no, I'm just kidding, like you could go into
Why not?
spin-offs into all the different locations of whatever, but yeah, so it can be done. So yeah, all right, so that's something that's happening in the biz, and I think sometimes it's interesting to see characters in a different light, in a different environment, in a different way. So you can do that one of two ways. You can carry the same characters over and put them into the new universe, and then just give them different clothes and stuff. Or you could take the character names, adapt their costumes, but then make new characters, but they're based off the original characters.
That's
and
what
then-
Cat and Mouse
right?
did.
Yeah. So right.
Because
So
Brett-
technically, yes.
Yeah.
Right. So it's those are
Brett and
the
Bobby are not the original Cat and Mouse.
Mhm. Yeah.
Really?
So there's no,
Mhm.
yeah, that's correct. Yes. Well, there's the first Cat and Mouse, and there are different characters completely.
Yeah.
So that story
There's a
arc went through
couple of-
for.
That
There's
was
a couple
volume
of,
1,
of-
and this is volume 2.
right. There's a couple of straggler characters that carried over from the original series like Demon, and
Right.
a couple of others, but that are older now. They've been aged. But yeah, Brett and Bobby are a new version of Cat and Mouse. They aren't the old. Oh, excuse me. And you know, that kind of brings up what we touched on before we came on the air. You asked me how I felt about other comic books having the same name as my comic.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yes, there's another Divinity on Indie Planet, and I'm not going to be an asshole, you know, and rain on their parade. They're two completely different looks. I don't think I have anything to worry about. That was mean. But here's a big but. I mean, and my book Divinity is a comic book. There's also I already knew when I set out to make this comic book that there was a role-playing cane called Divinity. But that's in a role-playing universe, and this is a comic book universe.
Yeah.
There's one caveat I would have to say is that if Divinity really hit it big, I mean, hit the big time, then I would have to probably be the bad guy and approach this other book and
Do cease and desist or change the name or
something like
Something
that. I started my Divinity was launched or came about in 2019. So if they were after that, then I suppose I'd have to be the bad guy. But you know,
Yeah, the best thing to do is be in a case like that is just to write to them and say, look, we both have the same name. Can you, and mine came first. Can you figure out a new name for your book?
yeah. And I wouldn't do that unless it was going to be infringing on a real money-making thing like Hollywood or something like that, which I could just, I don't think I have anything to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll just let it slide.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. What else do we got? All right. So we had
Diamond.
the Absolute Universe. Now Marvel's did the Ultimate Universe. Is the Ultimate Universe still in existence, or is it kind of gone the way of the?
I was thinking there's still a couple of books out there yet. I thought I saw something in previews recently. The latest previews. I'd have to go back and look again, but I think there are still a couple. But a lot of the elements that were in the Ultimates have made their way into the regular books.
Yeah,
So,
which is interesting. So,
well,
the other
yeah.
big news. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ramble. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
The other big news, obviously, in the comics industry is that
yes,
has purchased Diamond.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's a good topic.
Depending on who you talk to, it's either great or scary, or great and scary. There was a quote in an article, and Tom Mason posted this in another chat group. And the quote was from Alliance. And the guy from Alliance says, "I haven't spoken with the Diamond team yet because we're not allowed to. But I want to hear what they say and what we can do to fix this business. I just know how it is currently being run is not working. From everything I've read and been hearing, there's just not enough volume for the labor involved. We don't like to sell $5 CDs and DVDs." I don't know why he mentions that. Maybe that's what they currently do. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
one of
their
subsidiaries.
It's one of their distribution packaging.
Yeah. We can't make any money on it. We want to sell $20 products. That's the challenge because the labor cost and the freight cost just sucks all the profit out of it.
Yes.
We have a 95 cents rule. If we can't make 95 cents moving something through the warehouse, we have to make a minimum because that's what it costs to move things through. So they're looking at all the angles. And what that tells me is that there's going to be some massive rearrangements.
Mm-hmm.
which we kind of figured was going to happen. I mean,
Right.
I did, because when you go into Chapter 11 like this, Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it's all about reorganizing to eliminate all the problems causing you to lose money. So, and yet, in this case, this is a holding company, and they're coming in, and a lot of times what holding companies do is they come in and they streamline what's going on in the company. Unfortunately, that means some people will get laid off. Certain aspects of the company will be carved off and either thrown away or sold off. But
So
yeah, it's going to be some big changes.
if they're in their current business of selling CDs, if they don't want to sell $5 CDs, they want to sell $20 packages. That
Mhm.
tells me that they're not interested in floppies.
No, yeah. Well, that's exactly what I was just going to say. I was just going to say you're instantly into graphic novel territory,
Right. Mm-hmm.
or bundles,
Or
of some
bundles.
kind.
Yeah, or bundles. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They
So-
don't want to mess with the nickel and dime stuff. They want the big dollar items.
Right. So yeah. So if a comic book costs $5 and it's a floppy, how many pages would a $5 comic be? So I guess for the bigger two, because they have more volume, they'd be $2.99 for like a standard comic, but then for like the independents, you're pushing probably $4 to $5 on that, right? So yeah, you'd need to rethink your packaging approach. So either you're going to bundle 4 books together, or you're going to
Do manga
put together
style.
a
Do it manga
together
style.
a-
Do an anthology. Throw a bunch of different stuff in a bigger book. That's an
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
Or if
Oh,
there's any
ooh.
of you guys out there in the audience with a sugar daddy, you guys need to start a new
Oh.
distribution company and
I'm
cater
I got
to the
I got my
to the-
lottery ticket.
Well, yeah.
cater
So
to the indies and the smaller publishers,
well,
because
yeah, but the issue is, and Tommy probably could speak to this because he's in the print. He runs the indie
Kablam. Yep.
Kablam printing and stuff. But I'm pretty certain just the way costs are for everything right now is just up the creek. So it's like,
Well,
like
what
how
what
do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know
So
where most of our most of the paper comes out of, right? Especially like Weyerhaeuser.
Okay. Yeah. So we're
And
so actually, well, okay. So actually, here's how I think it works
and
here
the
in
ink
Canada.
probably comes from China.
Yeah. So here's what I think. Here's how I think it actually works for us in Canada. Some of the paper. So I think we do have paper mills up here that do make the paper,
Mhm.
but I also think that some of it gets pushed. We send our timber down to you guys. You guys pulp it
Right.
and make paper too, and then you send it back to us. So I think there's some
Yes.
cross-border stuff that goes back and forth. And now if we got this
It's
whole
why
tariff
NAFTA was
situation,
such a good idea, because it
yeah,
down on all the having
Yeah.
to pay duties to go across the border.
Yeah.
So now that's all, unfortunately, being messed with at the moment.
Yeah,
Hopefully
print
it'll
costs are
all-
going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Hopefully it'll all get worked out. But it's
I think a lot of the ink for the digital printers, and I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think a lot of it is made outside of the United States.
no,
yeah.
So,
Have to ask Tommy
so-
about that. He probably knows. Could tell
Yeah.
us, but yeah.
so yeah,
that's-
so it's very interesting. So so you know what? I was thinking of an idea for Tommy and his business would be to open up a whole bunch of small print shops all over the place, and then allow people to print their comics and have them
There's,
printed in their
I came
locality.
Yeah. I came up with this idea of is a kiosk.
Yes.
Set one up in a mall or no, seriously.
Yeah, no,
Where
I
you-
think that's brilliant.
you go up to this big tablet and you pick out which book you want. Books.
And it prints it on the
that you
spot.
want. And it prints it on the spot, and it can print it out. It could print it out as an anthology, one big book. Okay, I want this, and this. Put it
Right.
print it out in one book.
Right.
That's
And then
brilliant.
There it is.
and then you program it in such a fashion that depending on all the books that are selected, then because you use programming, then it says, okay, we know that this author belongs to this book, and then you send their cut.
They get their royalty, they get their cut.
Yep.
It's all done on site. Now you can either have a person attending it, you have somebody sitting there in the kiosk, or today you could just do just the machine sits there, and you go up and you start pushing buttons on this tablet,
Right,
and create your own book.
Yeah, but somebody would have to stock it with the paper and
Yeah, they'd have to
ink
put paper
and,
in it. They'd have to put ink. They'd have to,
uh,
pull
now-
the
now
money
the-
out. Or
now-
it would mostly probably be cards. Most everybody uses a debit card anymore,
Right,
anyway. So
right,
there'd
right.
be no money in it.
yeah.
So
So now the only issue is printers are persnickety as all get out. So I work for a printing company, and
yeah,
I did too
a,
for 20
number
years.
of
There's-
bugs would have to get worked out. Yeah,
there's nonstop repairs happening all the time.
all the
So
time.
So every time I
well,
walk by,
and adjustments
Yeah.
to to make sure that
So-
the colors line up properly. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of
So-
things
Yeah,
like
between-
that going on.
Between the time I left comics, well, I kept my little toe in, but when comics
Yeah.
imploded and when I retired, I worked 20 years in a printing company.
Yep.
So yeah,
so
they're constantly
folks,
breaking down.
folks who are watching us here, if you're a comic creator or you're interested in the comic biz, this thing from Alliance here tells you might want to be rethinking how you approach your comic building approach.
Yeah, let's see how it shakes out. But
Yeah. So if you were to pay $20 for a graphic novel, how many pages would that be in your guys' mind? How many pages would you be targeting? Would that be like a 64-page book, or would that be more than that?
no, it'd have to be
Sixty
probably about
just
double that.
said- yeah, well, 22-page comic is the norm, a floppy, and we go in 4-issue arcs. So we collect that in 4 issues. So 4 times 22 is how many pages? So it's
88.
66, 246,
Oh.
88. You're right.
Yep, 88.
88 pages.
Yep.
So 88 pages. So 88 pages would be targeting around the $20 mark.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would think anywhere between like 80 and 120.
80 and 120.
Yeah,
Okay.
120, 124, somewhere in
Right.
there. It's
Okay.
like here's an example. I print books at Kablam, and some of those same comic books I print at Amazon. Well, if it's under 34 pages, I make a better price break having it done at Kablam. If it's 34 pages or more, Amazon is a better price per book.
Really? That's good to
Yep.
know.
Yep, I've
Interesting.
passed that along to the people who know, who need to know at Silverline, because
Cool.
we've been talking about that. But that was my discovery, is that and the advantage with Amazon as well is that they do their own shipping. They have their own shipping, so their
Mhm.
shipping costs are lower
Right.
than what Kablam uses.
Yeah.
Kablam's not big enough to have their own fleet of
No, it's like
delivery trucks.
it's like eBay.
So-
eBay and Amazon have cut a deal.
Mhm.
So I've been selling a lot of stuff through eBay lately because my stepmom passed away a couple years ago, and she was a hoarder. And my dad wants
She
me to
had
get rid of all
stuff.
this stuff. Yeah, so I've been selling her stuff, and eBay gets a huge discount through USPS. And the same with
Yes.
Amazon. They cut
Yep.
deals.
Yes. A lot of times what will happen is Amazon gets it to, say, the local post office where it's going to be delivered. And then that last, as they call it, the last mile is done by the local post office.
Right.
And they worked out some sort of deal where that happens, where your local postman is the last line in a really long line of different ways of it being shipped. So it'll
Right.
go to like, and I've watched stuff from Amazon, and it'll go from say I ordered something and it's made in New York, and then it'll go to like Louisville, Kentucky, where
They have a hub.
FedEx planes and some other systems have a hub. Then it'll fly past me. I live in central Missouri, right in between St. Louis and Kansas City. It'll fly past me and go over to Kansas City, where it'll get sorted again, and
Yeah,
then
another
it'll
major
come
hub.
back. Then it'll come back to the local hub, which is Columbia, Missouri, and then that will be sorted down and sent to the little town where I live, which is just north of Columbia. So it goes clear across. It makes like 3 or 4 jumps, one going past me before it could come back to get to me. It actually goes past me twice, going to Kansas City, then back to Columbia, then to me. So yeah.
They're building this massive, I think it's something like 1 million square feet, Amazon warehouse just a few miles away.
And they probably have robots that go through and scan stuff and pull it off, put it in a box. So yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, it's economies of, it's what they call economies of scale. The bigger you get, the easier it is to do things cheaper. That's the way it goes.
This is absolutely the Wild West of comics at the moment. Everything is just thrown up in the air, and we're going to see what sticks.
But the diversity of product out there, if you look in previews, I don't think it's ever been this diverse as far as all the different types of stuff available, the types of stories, the types of art. I don't think it's ever been this diverse and different. Yeah. So it was more homogenized in the 60s. You had this one kind of style that everyone went by, but now, boy, anything goes. And I love it. I love that. If I can't find something to read, I'm not looking.
That's right.
That was actually something that I was thinking about the other day. I was like, what? Maybe we could talk about this for the last 3 minutes. What draws you to a comic? What pulls you in? What is it that sells you on the book? So I just took a quick look at the Indie Planet from Kablam, and I was looking at the books that are being offered, and I was like, what? Why is it some of these books don't resonate with me at all, and other ones do? What is it about that? And what is it about that's
another whole show concept.
Mass market. Yeah, I guess that might be. So I'm just touching on it now because it.
We can delve into it deeper.
Yeah. So
the very first thing that I look at is the art professional.
Yeah.
If it looks like it was drawn by a 5th grader, then I'm not even going to open it.
But even on the pro level, it's something interesting that's happening too, because there's some guys at the pro level where like they do nothing for me, but other guys do, and you're just like, what is the je ne sais quoi that grabs you to go towards one guy and not another guy? Like there's
personal preference.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting thing.
It's aesthetics. We each have our own aesthetics. Because I've seen artwork that I go, that's really good, but it's not something I'd read.
Right.
It's not something. It's not not my wheelhouse.
There's also artwork that grows on you. You come around to like it. When I first saw Mike Mignola's art, I hated it.
Agreed.
And
He's
then,
one of those.
And then slowly, it kind of grew on me. And then it was like, you know what?
Well, the more of it I saw,
I loved him from the get-go. But
understood, the more I understood what he was doing.
Yeah, and his grasp of shadow, black and whites, is just phenomenal.
Very Alex Tothish in that respect. I mean, very. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he. It's kind of like when Jack Kirby was doing the Avengers, and then suddenly we get later on John Buscema's doing it, and I'm going, boy, what a different! It was so different. I can't read this anymore. But a couple of issues later, I picked it up and went, oh, okay, now I kind of get it. But it's it was such a stark difference between what
Whereas
had been going before.
when I first saw ElfQuest, I walked past it. It was a graphic novel in Walden Books, like back in the 80s. And I walked past it and I actually stopped and had to go back and look at it and look at and I had to have it. The art just reached out
yeah, no, I agree. I didn't buy the book, but I was spellbound by the look of it. It wasn't the type of story, but I certainly appreciate the artwork, and I could tell that there was some depth to the story. What little I saw, that I think that's it. I think that's what it comes down to.
Sometimes the artwork just comes out and grabs you, and other times it's got to grow on you like a fungus.
Yeah.
And you get what it's about from the artwork. You haven't even read a single word, and you look at it and you can see, you get the feel for what it's trying to do. If the artist is completely and fully invested in what the story is about, I think you get that from just looking at it. That comes through, and ElfQuest is one of those where you just looked at the artwork and you went, "Oh, I know exactly what this is."
And since I was a huge fantasy fan, I just instantly was gravitated towards it. But that's the point I'm making, is sometimes it's the art that just jumps out and grabs you, and other times it's kind of got to grow on you. And by the time you learn to appreciate it, you're completely lost in it,
Yeah.
So
alrighty.
But I think that's it. I think it's the artist being fully invested in what the story is about, and having a good story.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of alternatives and stuff like that, we've kind of hit the top of our hour, but I'm going to bring up one more thing for the audience out there. And this is being pulled out of a hat. Just we're gonna yank it out because we talked about alternative. We've talked about alternatives and alternative universes and stuff like that. And we need to come up with a topic for our April month. So next week we were going to be talking about how many bricks is too many. Is that your topic, Barb?
Yep.
Okay. So
it's about details.
That's about details. Okay, so we're going to talk details in comics. All right.
That's a good way to put it. To how many bricks? Yeah.
All right. So
how many bricks are enough?
I'm going to make the topic. I'm going to make the topic in April, in one of the weeks in April. I'm not sure which week, but we will make it about parody, comics parody, and this is what would like to see from the audience, if the audience is interested, because I'm going to do it myself. Rob, anyone, Barb, if you want to, make a parody pinup of Silverline comic characters. So make fun of us. Do it nicely. Don't be mean, but make a parody comic. I already have one for Cat and Mouse. So I'm gonna present that, and let's talk parody in comics, and we'll talk about we'll talk about Mad.
That was rife for
sorry, which one? I missed that. What was
Cat
that?
And Mouse.
Yes, Cat and Mouse. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
so,
be easier.
Trump's
Twilight Grimm could be interesting.
Yep. I have one for that as well. Trumps. Yeah. So come up with some parody ideas, and then we'll present them, and then we can have a good laugh and poke fun at our own little universe, and see what we can come up with, and that might be something interesting to look at. And yeah, so that's our show for today. We talked about some variety of things happening in the comic world.
Yes, because we had no topic for tonight, folks. Yeah, we just came in and
we just winged it. Well, terribly sorry, but we will do our darndest to come up with better topics for next time. But
and we always try to make it interesting.
Hopefully, yeah. So yes. So next week we will be talking about details, minutia, little tiny things. How many bricks is too many bricks?
Do you need to draw every single brick?
Yes, every feather on that character, every wrinkle
hair of the feather.
Yes, the hairs. You two are marvelous at hair. So yes, you got to do all the little lines. So I've been trying to dabble in the inks, and I'm learning that I am not an inker. Like, I can ink myself, but trying to ink other people,
yeah,
that is a serious skill, folks. Like, learning how to ink is a serious skill. It's more than just tracing the other person, because when you just trace,
much more. Yeah,
you have to add that. You have to add that life into the. And it's really interesting to find out, like, what adds the life. And Barb can tell us all about that, and so could this guy down here. Yeah.
Thanks, Jose.
It's actually hard. It's hard to come up with the texture in the digital space. So yeah, and maybe that might be another topic of discussion sometime, is the tangible versus the digital. And I've done digital for years and years and years, and I think I'm starting to gravitate back to the real
old school.
There's nothing like that piece.
Yeah. The only part I don't like about that is that I have to scan all the stuff in. Yeah, hey, show off your art there. Let's show off your art there. How do we add you to the stage?
It's a cover for a book. It's a cover for a book.
There we go, folks. Check that out. Look at that.
That's nice.
Spectacular.
That's from.
Did you use models, or is that?
No, it's based on a movie with Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's based on a photo from that. But I took that as my basis and I changed it a little bit.
Unfortunately,
made it more my
I am
style.
past the physical stage. So
yeah.
Yep, I've
got
arthritis.
to wear a glove myself, so yeah.
I've got arthritis really bad from 35 years of artwork. I can still do it digitally.
Yep. So yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about the physical, is you have to scan it in, and then you have to do touch-ups and then all that kind of blah. So that's
still quicker than, for me. It's still quicker doing that than it is trying to do it all digitally. I have to learn how to do everything all over again, and I don't have time for that. I'm too old for that. I'm an old dog. I can't learn that new trick. So I mean, I could, but I just don't have the patience or time for it right. I want to there's too much I want to get out there in the meantime, and it's quicker for me to do it on paper.
You got your button ready, the right button ready to push button?
Yeah, I've got the right button ready to push. Hopefully we don't have a conspiracy on the tail end here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We've gone a little bit over time. Hopefully we didn't keep you too long, and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you for joining a Wednesday Wham, and make mine Silverline.
Hi, I'm Greg Horn. Make mine Silverline.